I figured I should quickly film an intro for this vlog because I can hear the thunder rolling in, so I better get a crack on it. So, like a lot of other people on BookTube, I will be joining the Owls Readathon this year. This will actually be my third time joining, and I think the past 2 years I did pass my owls, but I maybe did not pass my newts. So, this year, I have a plan. I've made a bullet journal spread, and I've already decided what subjects I'm going to take and what books I might read for each of my mandatory subjects. So let me explain. Editing Z here. I just realized I never explained what career I was going for, so I'm gonna show you my bullet journal. I'm going for the graphic designer career, and that means the owls I have to take are ancient runes, charms, history of magic, and transfiguration. And I'm also going for the legal defense of fantastic beasts seminar. So for that, I also have to get my owls in care of magical creatures and history of magic. But since I'm also doing history of magic here, so that just adds one extra subject to take. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I am a huge mood reader. Okay, I should have realized a lot earlier, frankly, that I cannot make myself read certain books if I don't feel like it. So what I've done is I have written out all of the subjects that I am planning to take, and I've made a list of the books that I have that fit each prompt. So all I have to do is once I get to that subject, I just have to pick whatever book I feel like reading from that list. So this method is my first time just giving in to my rude reader-ness, and hopefully this will allow me to finish all of the subjects that I need to finish while still not hating the process, because I find that if I'm not interested in the book in the moment, it takes me ages to finish it. So yes, it is currently April 2nd, and last night I started reading Playing for Keeps by Kendall. It's a sports romance, I believe, and it's like a best friend sister sort of trope. So basically, we've got Justin, who is a pro ice hockey player, and he's been interested in his best friend's younger sister for years and years and years. And one night, they make a drunken mistake. Or is it a mistake? We'll find out. But anyway, I am 33% done with it. I haven't continued reading it today because I've been working from home, but I am going to continue reading it. Hi, I'm bad at filming. So quick update, I finished Playing for Keeps by Kendall, and I feel like it's a 2-star read. I mean, it was quite fun. I did enjoy reading some of it, but I don't know, what really bugged me is some of it felt kind of sexist. I don't know, maybe that's too strong a word, or maybe I'm not using the right word, maybe there's a better one, but there were like parts, hang on, I took notes. I noted down some of the parts that I felt were kind of iffy. There's one bit where the girl accidentally asks the guy to get tampons for her. I say accidentally, the text was supposed to go to her friend instead of him, but there was just so much of it where she was like, oh my god, it's so embarrassing, it's so mortifying, he's this big hulking guy in the feminine hygiene aisle. Why? What's the big fucking deal? That scene kind of annoyed me, and she was like, oh, I'm so touched. And like, I recognize that there are guys out there who would be supremely uncomfortable to get tampons or pads for a girl, but why I feel like the bar is set so low, you know, that it's a big deal if a guy is willing to go and get tampons for not even like a girlfriend, like a sister or a friend. Like this is just such a huge pet peeve. Like, why is it a big deal? It's fucking tampons. It's in the box. It's in a package. I don't know. I felt like the author tried to put that scene in to be like, oh my god, look, he's such a sweet and caring guy. Let's pick the bar up from off the floor and raise it a little higher, okay? Let's not make this such a grandiose gesture. It's a decent thing to do for someone else. Another part that like was pretty annoying was at some point he talks about how he's like not interested in the casual hookups anymore, and he literally said, and I quote, "Don't revoke my man card for this." Cause all men like casual sex? I don't know. But yeah, so I finished it last night. So that's my charms exam over. Done and dusted. I've got one owl. So next, for transfiguration, which is a book or series that includes shape-shifting, I decided that I'm finally going to read Circe. I read the Song of Achilles, I think last year, and it broke my heart. It was amazing. I loved it so much. I still consider it one of my top 5 books, and I have heard from friends that Circe is even better, so I'm very excited for that. And yeah, let's hope that I film more than 1 clip a day. We'll see. You're gonna have to excuse my neighbors if you hear all that construction noise. I was kind of waiting for it to hopefully die off, but so far no luck, so I'm just gonna hopefully talk over it. And yeah, so it's currently April the 6th, and I have not read anything since I finished Playing for Keeps, so that's not good. I was originally going to start Circe by Madeline Miller, but honestly I felt quite intimidated by it, just because I read the Song of Achilles and I know how emotionally harrowing it was, and how I was like just devastated for weeks after that, and I pretty much couldn't read anything else. Plus, I'm honestly still in the mood for romance. I'm kind of not really ready to start anything that's too heavy and too mythology related, which even though they're all stuff I love, sometimes it's a bit heavy going. So I decided to start How to Hack a Heartbreak by Kristin Rockaway, and this would fulfill my ancient runes prompt, which is the heart rune, heart on the cover or in the title. So yeah, I'm only about a chapter in, but so far it's a lot better than Playing for Keeps. I shouldn't compare, but I'm really enjoying it so far. It's quite interesting. The character so far is quite fun. I like the narration tone, the tone of narration. So I'm about 50% done with How to Hack a Heartbreak, and I'm loving it so far. The story is about Mel, who works at this company that funds startups. The company that she works for is called Hatch, and all the startups are referred to as hatchlings. Mel actually works as the help desk effectively, where if any of these hatchlings have any technical issues, usually with like their laptops or whatever, she's the one that will have to fix it for them. So the thing about Mel is that she's also a talented coder, but because she's a woman and because she unfortunately is only help desk, all these people look down on her, they treat her like shit. So she also has been on this dating app called Flutter, and basically she meets a lot of assholes. And one day after a crappy date, she decides to start a website called Jerk Alert, where basically so far it's been women submitting men. I don't know if further down the line becomes more diverse, but basically it's people submitting reviews of the shitty douchebags that they meet on all these online dating sites and apps. I haven't gotten to this part yet, but I'm guessing that it gets successful enough that she has to start like becoming more of a business owner and managing herself. I hope she quits her job at Hatch, because I'm not a coder myself, but I do work in IT, and I feel for her so much. I really feel her pain and how shitty it is that, especially as a woman in a male-dominated industry, if she ever expresses herself a bit too much, she's hysterical, she's emotional, so she has to be all cold and try to stay as professional as she can, even though all these men around her are acting like frat boys and aren't professional in the slightest. You know, it's an inherent double standard. And it really pisses me off because I love this book, but it is making me feel a little bit angry sometimes when I read, because it reminds me of all of the shit I see in my day-to-day as well, and like all the experiences I hear from my peers, or even like I witness myself. Ugh. But yeah, anyway, not gonna rant about that right now because I'm gonna get real mad and I won't be able to sleep. I just wanted to say that I really adore Mel, and I really like feel kind of connected to her. If not professionally, I feel like the way she's kind of a bit more unsure of herself, and she does have a tendency to jump to conclusions a little quickly, which I find very relatable. I also wanted to say she has a friend called Wit, and I love her. She's like super flirty, super confident, but also really blunt and a bit prickly. And like prickly was actually a word that Mel used to describe Wit, and I loved that. So yeah, so far 10 out of 10. It's Friday night. I'm having a dinosaur McFlurry. I think this might be a Malaysian thing. So it's like Milo powder with Milo bits in vanilla ice cream. And I'm also Skyping my boyfriend. Hello. He's been reading Circe, and he's 5 chapters ahead of me because I'm at 0 chapters. So after I gulp this down, I'm gonna have to start reading with him. So last night when I was drifting off to sleep, I decided that I wanted to do another impromptu 24-hour readathon. It's Saturday, it's nearly 2 p.m. and I'll start from 2 p.m. today until 2 p.m. tomorrow. And I'm just gonna try to read as much as I can in the next 24 hours. I'm hoping to finish Circe in that time, but maybe I shouldn't say so much because then I'm gonna just disappoint myself. But yeah, I won't be reading like non-stop because that's just not realistic for me. But I'm hoping to make it like a really chill day. I'm gonna put on some ambient music, and yeah. Last night I think I only managed to read about 2 chapters of Circe, but I'm already loving it. Okay, I just had to quickly look up an interview. She pronounces her name as Madeline Miller, so anytime that I've said Madeline Miller so far, I'm sorry for that. It's Madeline. But yeah, Madeline Miller has such a way with words. Like, I remember reading the Song of Achilles and wanting to highlight practically every sentence because all of them were so beautiful and so visceral and poetic and just all around gorgeous. Like, not only is she incorporating one of my favorite things in the world, Greek mythology, she's also presenting it in such a beautiful and poetic way. Anyway, it's nearly 2. I am gonna get started on my 24-hour readathon. So it's currently nearly 11 p.m. over here. I'm about 35% into Circe by Madeline Miller. It's so good. I'm so endeared towards Circe. And I love Daedalus. Like, I've always enjoyed the character of Daedalus and Icarus, and not disappointed so far. I love it. Circe is also such a sweet thing. Like, I feel like as hardened as she tries to get, she's still kind of like me as a teenager, you know, like a hopeless romantic and like having a crush on every other guy she meets. Which is so cute to read about. But yeah, I'm really enjoying how she's coming to her own and figuring out the powers that she has and what she can do with it. I am going to try to get to 50% before I go to sleep tonight, but we'll see. I've been napping intermittently all day, so I might just fall asleep eventually. But yeah. Okay, so it's about 2:45 a.m. now, and I'm pretty exhausted, so I am gonna go sleep. I managed to reach about 56%, I think, of Circe today, So that's pretty good. It's currently Tuesday the 14th, and I finished Circe last night. I didn't vlog myself finishing it because I was lazy. I didn't feel like vlogging last night. I think I probably want to film like a book review for Circe sometime in the future, so I won't say too much now except that I loved it a lot. I don't think I loved it as much as I loved the Song of Achilles. I think that story just hit me hella hard, but I still really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characterization of Circe, who previously, I think the main impression I had of her was her role in the Percy Jackson series, where it's effectively she's a witch and she turns men into pigs. I rated it 5 stars on Goodreads, but if I'm being honest, it's maybe about a 4.5. But yeah, I'll go more in depth in the future review. As for what I want to read next, I honestly am not sure. I don't really know what I'm in the mood for, is the thing. I'm trying to decide between Raven Boys, This Is How You Lose the Time War, and The Unhoneymooners, because this will be for Care of Magical Creatures, and the prompt is to have a beak on the cover, which all of them have. And I'm just not sure what I'm in the mood for right now. Please don't mind that my hair is wet. I can't be bothered to blow dry my hair anymore. So we're working with what we have. So it's currently the 15th of April and I didn't get any reading done yesterday. It was honestly quite a stressful day in terms of work for me. So whatever. I just wanted to quickly wrap up the first half of the Owl's Magical Readathon and talk about all the books I've read so far. I'm sorry if I moved in the frame, I had to get up to get my bullet journal. So the first book I read was for the subject charms, and the prompt was Lumos Maxima, white cover. And for that I read Playing for Keeps by Kendall Ryan, and it was okay. I didn't like how misogynistic the narrative felt. I'm not trying to knock Kendall Ryan whatsoever, but there were just a few bits and pieces that felt really misogynistic, and it was kind of cliche, and the story was pretty predictable. So I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads. I have to say, I would probably have given it 1 star if it wasn't for the fact that the sex scenes were pretty fun to read. Apart from that, not worth your time. The second book I read was for Ancient Runes. The prompt was Heart Rune, heart on the cover or on the title. And for that I read How to Hack a Heartbreak by Kristin Rockaway. This was a lot better. I feel like Playing for Keeps set the bar really low for romances going into this. So when I read How to Hack a Heartbreak, I was very pleasantly surprised. It was a fun read. I felt for the characters, I enjoyed the concept. It was also quite satisfying for me because I work in the IT industry as well, and having a book call out how sexist and gross some aspects of the IT industry can be was very satisfying to watch. So I liked that. I also liked that in the book nobody was perfect. Mel could have been made into a perfect person, but the author wasn't shy to point out her flaws and point out the flaws in all the different systems that were in place, all the different apps, all the different websites, that sort of thing. So I really enjoyed that. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, which might be kind of high, but it's really, in my heart, it's a 3.5. Then for Transfiguration, the prompt is Animagus lecture, book or series that includes shapeshifting. I read Circe by Madeline Miller. I feel like I might just have to turn my social media accounts into a Madeline Miller stan account. It's only a matter of time. She comes out with a 3rd book, and the 3rd book is a banger on the same par as Circe or the Song of Achilles. That's it. That's it. She owns me. Circe was not as devastating as the Song of Achilles was to me, but in hindsight that's probably a good thing, because if it was that devastating, I would have to abandon the readathon and just stew and think about all that I have experienced. This is too dramatic. I gave this book 5 stars on Goodreads, and yeah, I would say maybe 4.5 in my heart. It's just a hair below perfection, if perfection is the Song of Achilles, which it is. But yeah, just wanted to do a quick wrap up so that my vlog is only maybe 20 minutes long and not an hour long. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.